would tell you that.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's topic of discussion is going to be about people. So we as people. I have been doing a lot of thinking lately and I feel like the way America or the United States is going is not what we as a people in it would want it to go, especially for people of color. Usually I don't really, I guess you can say, voice my opinion when it comes to subjects of this matter, in terms of, the police brutality and just a whole bunch of things that are going on in our community that it kind of makes you want to take a step back and just analyze what's going on. And I guess you can say I have been doing a lot of those lately. So I've been very confused and a little torn because we as a people are the ones that give the power to the government. And it's in our constitution that this country is a voice their opinions, and by so doing we're able to get some changes to happen. And I don't feel like the racial tension that we have been experiencing has changed. Yes, maybe a part of it might have changed, but some parts of it are definitely not different from what it used to be before. And if we as a society in general don't put our foot down and say we want change and this is the kind of change we want, because I feel like we take the topic to the black community. As a black man, I can definitely relate because it's very heart-wrenching to hear that somebody who looks like you, has the same complexion as you, is just being brutally murdered just because he or she was walking to their car or walking to their home, their own home, or just being stopped for a routine traffic check, and by so doing that person is killed. And that brings me to question how these police men and women are being trained. Yes, that is your job, but I feel like sometimes people take it to an extra step that makes it borderline crazy. Because, you stop somebody, and let's just say the worst scenario, the person has a gun and wants to hurt you. I think it's a matter of communication. And I know that's, a bit far fetched because not everybody who's being stopped wants to have a decent conversation with a police officer. So I think sometimes we as civilians should also have a little bit more patience when it comes to the way we deal with police officers. Because I think on both ends, this person thinks that, okay, this person might do something crazy to hurt me, so I should be kind of guarded and not act like I'm about to befriend you right now. So I'm gonna put my authority hat on and let you know that I'm in charge here. And the other person here is like, oh no, you're not gonna talk to me like that. Like, I know my rights. And when those kind of conversations and situations happen, it clashes. So this person says here and you say there, and it's like, I think it's a matter of us having patience with dealing with each other. Because if you're just going in very defensive, it makes the person, or should I say, it makes the police officer feel like you have something to hide. And, this is definitely not justifying the fact that they're killing people of color, because that's definitely not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that both ends have to act towards each other in a very respectful manner. Because if that type of respect is not there, it definitely makes a whole lot of confusion and a whole lot of things that are not supposed to happen. And yeah, that makes me sometimes question how the police officers are being trained. Like, are there, psychological aspects to their training? Or is it just approach this person, and if you have, any suspicion that anything might be wrong, you approach them in a very like harsh manner. Like, you're dealing with people here. You're not dealing with animals. And even if you are dealing with animals, you need to have some sort of, compassion. And in this case, we're dealing with human beings, people that are just like you, people that breathe the same air as you. So I think it's a matter of, like I said, people having respect towards each other. So if a police officer is to stop you, you know, don't be defensive. We shouldn't be defensive. And I shouldn't say that don't be, like I'm talking to some people. I'm talking to we as a people, as civilians, as human beings. It's a matter of us not being defensive to the people that are, you know, here to protect us. But then there are also human beings. People can have, very different intentions as to why they're stopping us. And I think one thing that we should be paying attention to is some of the, I guess, advices and information that movies and TV shows are putting out there. Because, there are definitely certain television shows that kind of makes you take a step back and make you analyze, okay, this might be something that we as a people should be looking into. We as civilians should be looking into, because I know TV shows like Mr. Robot, um, Scandal, and a whole lot of other TV shows that I have been watching lately has kind of made me, in a way, kind of think about what it is that the government is hiding from us. What it is that the government is preventing us to see, the, the hidden aspects of what's really going on in the government and what civilians are being told. And that's what, baffles me. Yes, there is corruption in America. Yes, people are working, a whole lot of hours and not being paid enough. Yes, there are people that have graduated college and looking for jobs and haven't found jobs, including me. Um, so it's very weird that the way that the government is structured, it makes there to be, I mean, it it in a way allows corruption. It allows all the negative stuff to happen to the people in it. And this also takes me to the spiritual aspect of this nation. People that have been brutally murdered for speaking the truth, or for saying, yes, like I said, for speaking the truth, and people that have, stood their ground and made sure that we have the freedom and rights that we have today. And I think those are the underlying things that we should be looking into. Because I think, this is, if let's say, let's compare this to just a family. If there has been very bad things that have happened to that family, there's always going to be bad energy. And that is one thing that I think we should be looking into. And, we as a people should be praying and meditating, if that is possible for the whole of America to start meditating and just kind of having a sense of wholeness in the nation that we're in. Because all of that corruption and people being, and I'm talking about, the aspect of what the nation or the government does that we as civilians don't know. Like, I have been hearing a lot of things about how, or I guess I can call it the 9/11 conspiracy.